We are live now. Let me just check that on my side and we'll see, we'll get to know whether we are live. Okay, we have viewers joining in. Awesome. Awesome. So I think we are live. Yes. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I think we are ready to go. Perfect. Hello and welcome to this live. Thank you for joining in. I'm Yash, co-founder and chief executive at Clientjoy, and today I'm joined by Anupama, co-founder and chief of products at Clientjoy. Anupama, say hello.
Hi everyone.
We've joined in today to talk about setting up Clientjoy for your success. The first and foremost thing that you want to do as soon as you start using Clientjoy is to set it up properly. We'll talk about a lot of things, and some of those things are going to be integrating your email and calendar, creating your templates, setting up your currencies and tax rates, white labeling Clientjoy, bringing everything into Clientjoy. And so get ready with all of your questions. I'm looking at the comment box like a cat that looks at laser pointer, right? It also so by the way, this live also sets up the groundwork for setting up multiple sales pipelines and lead forms, which we are currently working on and will be out soon, but more on that at later. Now, before we talk about setting up Clientjoy, though, let's look at why we are doing this live series. Right? And one of the key things why we started this live series was because when we were looking at our help chat and support tickets, we found that most folks had questions around things that are already possible within Clientjoy. But because the feature was not discoverable, our users were deploying some sort of inefficient workaround. We've always wanted Clientjoy to be as simple and as minimalistic as possible. But even though we try to do that, since there are over 150 features in the product, some things get lost and buried within menus. And so the goal of this live session is to share some journeys of the product that will make using Clientjoy even more blissful and efficient for you. Now, if you'd like to help us make Clientjoy better, I'd recommend you join our beta program on clientjoy.io/partner/beta. What this would do is that before we release our next feature, we'll give you early access to test it out and offer feedback on improvements around flow, structure, and use cases for the feature. Your feedbacks will make sure that when we make a wider release for all of our 4,000 plus users and 9,000 plus freelancers in 90 plus countries, it is flawless for all of them. Again, just sign up on clientjoy.io/partner/beta and start sharing your thoughts and feedbacks with us on every major feature release that we make. Also, if you're new here, I recommend joining our Facebook community of about 1,400 freelancers and agency owners on facebook.com/groups/clientjoy. This community is a safe place where you can ask questions, answer other people's questions, or just share what you're going through as well. We use this space to learn about what's going on in the agency space and as a sounding board of what we should do next in the product as well. You could get software recommendations, learn industry standard best practices, and share your experience too. Again, the community is available at facebook.com/groups/clientjoy. Lastly, if you've been around a while, you already know that we at Clientjoy are working at an express pace to deliver value to you. Now, there is a place where you can check those features out as well. Just head over to updates.clientjoy.io and you will see our meticulous releases along with use cases and documentation ready for you to explore and start using within Clientjoy. Again, our update log is available at updates.clientjoy.io. Now that I'm done with my hidden agenda, let's get started with looking through setting up Clientjoy and what it can do for your business. But wait, before we do that, I have a question for all of you who joined in. If a turtle loses its shell, is it homeless or is it naked? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you do that, Anupama, over to you. So Anupama, can you share with me, if a turtle loses its shell, is it homeless or is it naked? I am not able to hear you. I think you may have to fix your mic
Oh, sorry,
or
I
just
was on mute.
ah,
Yeah.
you were just on mute. Yes,
So it's naked.
it's naked. That's what you think. So you think that the shell are its clothes and not its home. Good to know. Anyways, so moving on, how can we set up Clientjoy for success? So for a person who's joining in on Clientjoy and signing up for the first time, what are some of the things that you recommend they should do in order to make sure that their journey of using Clientjoy is great and they're able to gather value out of the product as quickly and as efficiently as possible?
Hmm. Sure. So whenever you are, just can you share my screen?
Sure.
Yes. So whenever you are, on Clientjoy, you signed up, you are a new user. So before you start to bring your data, bring your invoices, proposals, your leads, clients, everything on Clientjoy, it's better that you do a proper setup of all the information about yourself, your company, your currencies, your taxes, your payment methods, and then you start bringing and start using Clientjoy for a smoother and easier start of the journey. So today I'll be showing you like what are some basic things, basic setups that you need to do when you start Clientjoy. So I'll start with how can you set up your information and your business's information, which will be visible to all your leads or clients whenever you are sending them any email, whenever you're sending them any documents. So we'll just head over to the setting parts. So all the settings are accessible only at one place, which is this good, which is the setting bar that you see in the navigation. So here you have some quick nav settings access. And if you want to look at all the settings, just head over to all the settings. So the way we have organized the setting is that like everything which you can set is only at one place. So whatever is here is that is the only thing which is possible. Okay, so now I'll start with like first, after the sign up, you can come to the first thing that we show is my profile. From here, you can set up your name, your phone number, your signature. So this is the information which will be sent, will be visible to in your emails when you're sending the emails, when you are sending a proposal, then you are the sender. So just ensure that uh, your name is exactly what you want to show them. Next is like if you are setting up how to set up your business information. So just head over to this company info section over here. Okay. So just set up, you can add your company information, like the name of your company. If you have any, numbers like wet numbers, CIN numbers, so you can add custom fields and you can fill all the information, the address. If you have some more data, all that you can put. So why this is important is that whenever you are sending the invoice, creating the invoice, or there are some information that you want which are part of your emails or which are part of your communication. Always, it could be a website link, it could be your portfolio link. So for a easy and quick access, you can actually fill it over here. Next is that like the currencies that you are dealing in. So if you are dealing in multiple currencies, it's better that you set them before. So whenever you're adding your lead, your customer, or your services, you just have to set up the rates, or you just have to assign that currency to that lead. At that point of time, you don't go and create a new currency and then come back. So you can go to the currency tab over here. So at Clientjoy, you can work with in multiple currencies. So there is only one.
How many currencies can we work in?
As many as you want. So I'm assuming that like you will not be working more than 5 or 6, but as many as you want.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now, but there is only one currency that you can set as default. So the default currency is basically whenever you are not choosing any currency, we set it by default. Okay, next is that.
And I think one of the other things that we should also mention is that default currency is what you see all of your reports in, right? So
Yes.
so let's say if I'm working in 5 different currencies, let's say it's USD, INR, GBP, EUR, whatever the case may be, and if my default currency is USD, it means that even though I may have clients in 4 or 5 different currencies and they are billed in those currencies and so on and so forth, I still am able to see all of the reports in terms of sales, invoices, values of proposals and stuff like that in my default currency, right? And
Yes.
so typically it's a good idea to get your default currency is the one in which you do business in. And so that way, your reports and everything are displayed in your default currencies.
Sure. So this is an example, like on your dashboard, there is a summary of invoices chart that we show. So this is an example that this chart only appears in your default currencies. And the remaining currencies, we basically, convert them into your default currency from the real time, available rate exchange rate, and then we show that. So this is an approximate amount that we show. And same happens when you're receiving your, weekly emails, weekly report emails. There also we do the same thing.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So questions in this part, please, share in comments. Okay, so next is like how to you set up your communication, basic communication. So we'll again go back to settings. Yeah. So here you can see that these three settings, which are my profile, notification, and connected app, all of them are grouped under me. So basically, what this means is these whatever you set up over here is it only belongs to you. It's not accessible to everybody in your organization. And the next is like, and below that there is a workspace and setup. So those settings you are doing at an organization level. So you can set it only once. So I'll go to this connected app.
I'm sure you don't mean to say that you can set it only once. You can obviously
I mean
set it
to
and then
say,
change it later. You
yeah,
can set it
I
up
can.
and then change it later as well. But those are the global values that are created, right? So those are
Yes,
those values essentially apply to all the people who are using Clientjoy in your organization. You can obviously change your time zone and date time format and stuff like that. But yeah,
yes. Thanks for correcting me over there.
sure, no worries.
Yeah. Okay, so next is like connected app. So this area, basically here, you can connect your email accounts, which you want to use to send emails to your clients, which you want to use to, sync in your calendar. So mostly your business emails. And if you can also connect your Google Drive account, OneDrive account, if you want to upload, if you want to share or access your files in Clientjoy from them. So, for example, if you want to share a file uploaded in your Google Drive to your client, so you can just do that very easily if you have connected your Google Drive account over here. Okay.
And
So
so let's say if I connect my Google Drive account or OneDrive account, let's say my limit on, so what are those limits, right? So let's say if my OneDrive limit is that of 5 GB, and if I've connected that over here, if I share a file that's uploaded on OneDrive, and if I share that using Clientjoy with my leads or clients, does that count against my limits on Clientjoy as well, or how does that work?
no, so the files that are on the third-party applications, be it Google Cloud, OneDrive. So basically, when we share it with your clients, we just share it in an just a symbolic link way. So we don't actually download those files and share it with your clients because we want to ensure that whenever you or your team are updating those documents, like all the updates and changes, everything is accessible to your lead or client. And if you remove the access of your client from that document, for example, from Gmail, from Google Drive, the access also goes here from your, the access also goes here as well. So that is the reason that the space that is counted in Clientjoy does not include Google Drive or OneDrive files. It only includes the files that you are uploading or the media that you are uploading in Clientjoy.
And so what are the limits of file uploads in Clientjoy?
So limits as in like how much you can do. It depends. It varies from the plan to plan, but we start from basic from 10 GB.
Okay. And then goes up to?
Till now we have given up to 500 GB.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And the files that you upload, you can upload till 20 MB.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Coming back. Okay. So when you are connecting, so there are two types. So one you do for your file storage. For your one is for your files. So this is your Google Drive and OneDrive. And the second account connection that you do is for your mailbox and calendar. So you can connect your Gmail account, your G Suite account, your Outlook account, your Zoho account, your Yahoo account. So all those accounts basically you can sync in Clientjoy. So when you so it is just a very easy connection. Like it is just some clicks that you have to do. And after that, what happens is that all your emails from last 3 months, they start reflecting in Clientjoy. And whenever you are sending an email to your lead or you're receiving an email from your lead or client, we start showing you that these emails you have received from this particular lead, these emails you have received from your client. So we start mapping them with your leads and clients. So you have just one place where you can check out all the communication that has happened with your lead or client. Second is that you can set up your signature from here. So if you have your own signature, which defines what you do at your organization, what is your expertise, and any links that you want to put. So you can just configure your signature. So whenever you are sending an email to your lead or client, this will automatically show up.
And so if I want to upload an image in my signature over here, how do I do that?
So you will have to. So what I would suggest over here is that there is a hack here. If you can use an online signature builder and just copy paste the whole thing over here, it will the image and everything will come up.
Oh, okay. So
But from
can
here
I
you will not be able to upload. Yes.
can I just copy and paste my existing signature that I have in my Gmail or Outlook?
Yes, you can.
And it'll retain all the formatting and everything in terms of the adjustments and stuff like that?
Yes, yes, it will.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
100% accuracy, it might, I cannot promise you, but yeah, it will be very close to. And sometimes, because of different formatting structures, some things don't come. But in most of the cases, it works like a charm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next is, okay, this mailbox permissions. So whenever you are connecting your email, what happens is that when we find that this lead, this email belongs to your lead, it starts showing up in your leads, right? So now, if you want that by default, it should not be, accessible or readable to all other salespeople who have access to that lead, then what you do is that, okay, I'll start again. Sorry that. So basically, there are two types. So emails by default are private, but if you want that the emails that are associated to your leads and clients, if you want them to be accessible or accessible in terms of they should be able to read, your other sales people should be able to read those emails, then you mark them shared. So basically, you mark the emails as shared, the ones that you want your other salespeople to have access to or have view access to it. If you want that all the emails that belongs to your lead by default should be accessible to everyone in the company under the lead tab, then what you do is that you turn this toggle on. So what will happen is that all those emails by default will be accessible. If you turn this toggle off, then what happens is that all the emails, whether linked or not linked, they will be marked as private only. And then once, and you will be able to see that these emails are, linked with this lead, but they are private. So you have to go and mark them as shared. Then only they start becoming visible to your other salespeople.
Okay, Anupama, I'm so sorry. One of the comments that I just received is that I think the resolution of the screen that we have is so big that
Okay.
that things are looking too small on screens. Is it possible for you to zoom in a little bit
Does
so that
this
they become a
work?
little more readable?
Does this
We'll,
work?
I don't know. We'll find out. For me, it was working fine, but probably that's because I'm sitting in the studio. But we'll find out. Yeah, I think this should make things a lot better.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's continue. Yeah.
Yes, I have done a three times Zoom. Let's see.
Sure.
Let me know if it still doesn't work. I'll have
Yeah, we'll
problem.
wait for the comment. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this works.
Yeah, sure. So next is that whenever we are syncing your activities from like two-way syncing from Clientjoy to your business calendar and from business calendar to Clientjoy, there are multiple calendars if you are using would be available to us. So you can choose from here the main calendar or the calendar in which you want the syncing to happen. So this is that part. Yes. Okay. Any questions so far?
We have, but I think we'll take them up towards the end. I'm
Sure.
actually already taking up some. Since we planned this live together, I already know that you're going to answer some of those questions when we get to those things, and so I'm not asking those questions. But as and when they come, I'll let you know.
Sure. So there are two type of email connections that are possible in Clientjoy. So one which happens on your personal level. So this is for the direct communication that you are having with your leads, and when you are having with customer. So that connection is what you do over here, right? Then there is a second type of email connection that happens, which is for your automated emails. When you are sending your proposals, when you are sending invoices, when the reminders are going, so basically, what happens is that you can set up that email as well, and that is set up at an organization level or a business level. So I'll just show you how to do that. So you just go to Branding Plus, and I will cover the brand identity and custom domain later. I'll just show you the SMTP setting. Basically, custom email address for outgoing emails. So it also tells like send outgoing emails for your proposals, invoice, system reminders, invite, etc. If you're sending an invite to your clients, all those also go from this email address. So by default, in Clientjoy, we send the email from our system email addresses. But if you want to configure your own, right? If you're using a service, for example, Sendinglue, a Mailchimp, or any a Mailgun, any service that you already use, or maybe if you want to send those emails from your own Gmail account, G Suite account, or Outlook account, then also you can come and configure over here. So you just go to change. So this SMTP setting, you just go to change, and we give you the some of the services which are available. If you don't find the service that you want, you just go to other, and the SM. So here you have to fill the SMTP details. So what are the SMTP details? Is basically these are some configurations that your email service provider gives you, which basically helps any other system to
Mhm.
send email to, like to send email using your account, right? So if you do not know like what is your SMTP settings that you need to configure over it, just do a simple Google search. You just write, for example, what is my SMTP setting for Gmail, what is my SMTP setting for Zoho, what is my SMTP setting for Sendinto. You will get plenty of articles on that, which will tell you how to get this information.
Or if you don't want to do Google search, if you can see on the screen, on the top it says how to set up your own SMTP. Right? You could
Yes.
just click over there, where we've put in a lot of effort to Google search on your behalf, and then bring all of those answers together. And then we've listed out how to actually do that step by step. We've got a video, and then we've got a series of screenshots and steps as well. Whatever's your thing. Some people like to watch a video, some people and then play pause as and when they are setting it up. Some people like to watch screenshots and go step by step. You can do that as well.
Yes. So again, there are plenty of available services. So there could be a scenario where we have not covered it, but the major ones we have like Gmail, Outlook, so those kind of. But if you don't find your service over there, then I just told you away. Okay. Um, okay. So this is how you do it.
And so let's say if I'm not configured SMTP configurations or setup, what happens in that case? Like, what's the default position of Clientjoy?
Default is like it goes from the Clientjoy's account. Then it's
Okay,
Team
so it's
Clientjoy. It goes from Team Clientjoy. So
And does
it
it
goes
also
from
say Team Client Joy, or does it
no,
say my
it
name?
says Team Clientjoy, but you can come and no, you can come and change it over here. So if you want to use the email address of Clientjoy, but want to change the name and reply to email address, you just
Okay.
upset this.
Oh, okay.
So
Got it.
here, so I think the first thing that you should do is that you first update the sender name and the reply to email address. Then you go about changing the whole email address.
Got
So
it. And so
that is a
for
quick
people who
fix.
might, sure. And so for people who might not, who might seem confused by reading, Anupama from Acme Agency in the sender name, I would like to clarify that you should really not put in your name, right? Unless you're a freelancer or unless you yourself are the brand, right? So think of it this way: this name and the email address is going to be used to send out emails in the name of your company, right? In the name of your agency. And so, what you may really want to do is you may want to have a name that says accounts from Acme Agency, or accounts, or just Acme Agency, right? So just the name of your company, because this is the name that will show up when any email goes out. So when your proposals are sent out, when your invoices are sent out, when invoice reminders are sent out, when client portal invites are sent out, this is the name, this is the reply to address, and this is the email ID that it will go from. And so it's important for you to remember that you don't, if you sign up and if you put in your name, and if someone else from your organization ends up inviting a client to the client portal, they won't recognize that email, right? Because they've not spoken to you, they've only spoken to the account manager that you assigned to them, or whatever the case may be. So the sender name, typically the best practice is to have the name of your organization or the brand name that you carry.
Yes. So here we also show you a little preview, so you can always know like what will be visible as the name and what will be visible as the email address from which they're going.
Mhm.
Okay, now I'll jump to the next part, which is setting up your branding. So now we have done the setup of your information, your company's information. You have done the setup of currencies, and you have already set up your emails. Now we go to the branding part, like how does it look like? How does the things look like to your leads and clients? So in Clientjoy, you can just again come to Branding Plus. So here you can set up
And
your
so,
logo. Yeah.
Anupama, is this the sad part of our live stream?
Does I know this is a very happy side.
So I actually think that this is the best part of our live stream, right?
Yes.
And so we've got to make sure that we explain to our to the folks who are watching this now, and folks who will watch this at a later point of time as well, as to why this is so important, why this is so interesting, and why this is so exciting, right? And so it's important to remember, everyone, that this is, so when you come into Branding Plus, when you're setting up the Branding Plus for your organization, it's not just about changing Clientjoy's logo to your logo and changing the colors to your colors and adding favicons, or making changes in the email SMTP settings. It's important to remember that this are the details that your clients will see, right? And so we at Clientjoy believe that there's no reason for your clients to know that you're using Clientjoy to offer them your services, right? And so at every point where they're booking their meeting with you, or they are looking at your proposals, or they are looking at your invoices, or they are logging into the client portal, we want to make sure that they feel like this is the experience that you're offering to them. And so just making all of these changes step by step over here, we want to make sure that it's hosted on your domain, and it carries your brand logo and brand colors, right? And so that's primarily the thing that we are bringing in with Branding Plus. And that's really why we encourage everyone who signs up to Clientjoy to do this first and foremost, right? So remove Clientjoy branding from wherever it appears, and put in your branding, because you deserve it. You worked hard to build your agency. You worked hard to acquire clients, and you just because it's a software that we've built, it doesn't mean that you have to suffer through having your clients look at our branding, right? Have them look at yours, reinforce it, get them to offer them a great experience, get them to bring you more people. So nice media on YouTube says, "Good day, Clientjoy. Good day to you as well. Thank you for joining in." Anupama, please continue.
Sure. Yes, so Clientjoy
But
is
let's be a little happy about this, right? So let's bring in a little more energy. We know that it's been a long day today, and we've been working really hard on some updates. We're supposed to make releases sometime this week that are happening actually early next week. We're not able to get those things done on time, and we've just been really super hard at work. And this is actually how we are ending our day. And so Anupama is super tired, but I know that she has it in herself to do one
No, no,
last
I'm
portion
very
and make this
happy. I'm
live.
very excited. Today it's my, the
Awesome.
calm zone, I would say. Today
Perfect.
I'm
Yeah.
in the calm
Perfect.
zone.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
for this, I'm
Perfect.
never
Yes. So
tired.
nice media on YouTube. We are bringing the joy. We are bringing the joy to you as well. Anupama, here you'll see Anupama bringing in the joy. Please.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So whenever you are communicating to your clients or your leads, you want, your brand's, brand identity to be super loud, super reflective, right? That is the difference maker, right? That is how, your client and leads know that they are working with you and not any other, agency. So we allow, for that reason, we actually, allow a lot of customization so that you stand apart in front of your leads or client. So, like for that, we have this branding plus section. So, branding plus section is basically to set up all that branding. And so branding plus is by default not available in all the plans. But if it is not available in your plan, then you can purchase it as an add-on. Otherwise, some of the planners already add. So, if you see this portion as locked, just this is the reason that it is an add-on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Got
I
it.
will show
So
you.
sorry,
Yeah.
just before you continue, I have a question over here, and so the question is, I'll just bring that on the screen as well. Can I customize my Clientjoy account with my company logo and favicon even without purchasing branding plus or white labeling?
Sorry, that's not possible.
Sorry,
So you can
that's
put
not possible.
your logo. You can put your logo. I'm sorry, I answered very quickly. You can put your
Uh-huh.
logo. That logo will be visible in your proposals. That will be visible in your invoices. That will be visible on your client portal login screen as well. But your favicon, that doesn't show up. Your custom domain, that doesn't show up. So those things are not possible.
And so let me actually clarify. Let me just clarify. If you do it before in the next 4 hours, if you purchase Clientjoy in the next 4 hours, you will be able to do this. We are changing our prices starting 1st of September, and so if you purchased Clientjoy already, or if you are about to purchase in the next 4 hours, you will be able to do this with an add-on. But if you do it, if you're doing it anytime after 1st of September, branding plus is moved out as an add-on, and so you'll have to purchase it separately as well. We have another comment from, I think, from Darren, and he says, joined a little late and missed the email setup. I already have branding and domain done. You guys rock. Thank you, Darren. Thank you for the kind words. It seems like that kind of a day for us today. We received 2 5-star reviews today on Trustpilot, and then this comment, I am going to sleep like a baby tonight. It's thank you for all the kind words, and these are the little things that help us stay motivated and keep going, and thank you for that. Anuma, please continue.
Yes, sure. So, like one thing I want to add for Darren. So, if you miss the live, or if you have missed the previous live, what we have done is that we have brought all the Wednesday webinar session inside the product now. So you can just head over to the Universe tab on the top bar. I'll just show you here, and you go to Wednesday webinars. So in case you have missed this live or the previous one, you can rewatch all of them over here. They are
Oh
just here.
wow, whose idea was this?
Thank you, Yash. This was my idea. You are yet to add how to register it.
Yes. So for the people who might not know this, Yeah, there are a couple of people in the team who help us with the website and help us with the product, and making sure that all the content is updated everywhere. So they are super diligent. Typically, it's me who becomes bottleneck for them, and so I'm the one who comes up, during the discussion, overcommitting things that, hey, I'm going to update this, do this, write copy for this, approve this, whatever the case may be. But for some or the other reason, I'm just not able to do that. And so there are brilliant ideas in the team, but please know that I am the bottleneck who stops most of them from happening in reality. And believe you me, I'm working very hard on changing that. But as of now, if you want a central place to look at any of our Wednesday webinars, just log into Clientjoy, head over to Universe in the header, click on Wednesday webinar, and you'll have access to all our previous lives. And as soon as this live is over, also we'll be updating this over there. The other quick thing is that under the same tab, you'll also see Agency Advocate, which is a new initiative that we've taken, which is where we talk about common challenges and problems that we ourselves faced and we've seen other people face as well while they're running and managing their agencies. And so this is where we put out 6-7 minute videos around writing cold emails, managing clients, key aspects of acquiring new clients, having preventing scope creep, breaking down sales funnels, handling sales objections, and so on and so forth. Do watch those as well if you believe that this is going to be helpful for you. But enough of promote. It's super weird seeing my photograph on the screen repeated like 9 times over, right? And so
You look funny as well in some of them.
I look super. I don't look like I'm built for this at all. I'm not made for this at all. But and our graphic designers and photographers and videographers try their best to bring out the best with whatever they're given. But yeah, that's primarily where we are. Moving on, Anupama, please continue with what we were about to see next.
Sure. Okay, I'll come to the branding plus again. We were on branding plus and now we are.
That's it's a skill that you slowly develop as a CEO. How to always be at the center of all conversations all the time, every time.
Okay. So coming back. Okay. So you can upload your logo from here. When you upload your logo, we also show you a little preview on the right hand side where you can see that your logo will be reflected in your client portal on your invoice. If you are uploading your favicon, the favicon will be visible only on your client portal, client portal, as well as actually public links of your proposal invoices. So the links that when you're sending a proposal and your client is opening that proposal or invoice, there also the favicon will be visible, and if they are opening the client portal, there also it will be visible. Next is brand color. So when you set up your brand color, you generally don't know where it is reflected, right? Like why we are taking that. So basically, how our invoices have this super hidden feature, which is very good, is that no matter which template you choose in invoice, it takes a color that you set up over here. So it actually takes the brand color. So all the colors are replaced. That's why you should set it here. Okay. So next is the custom domain part. Okay. So custom domain is setting up your own URLs for your public links, which are your proposals, client portal, invoices, all those things. How you can do that is that if you have access to your DNS settings, and if you do not have, then ask one of the developer or any person that who is good, who did the setup of your domain or your website. Just go to that person and show them this instructions or the blog that we have set
But
up.
before we talk about that, like why do I want to? So when we say that bring it on your custom domain, does it mean that, so like let's say if I'm the agency, is it being hosted on my server? Because I don't have a server. Most agency owners don't have servers.
No, it is not hosted on your server. So this is hosted on our server only. You just need, basic DNS mapping that you get when you buy your domain. So basically, what happens is that whenever a request is coming to your domain that you want to set. So let's take an example over here. So I have set up custom domain as designstudio.sasjoy.io. So what happens is that whenever the request comes to designstudio.sasjoy.io, you redirect that, or you point that to Clientjoy, and you just inform us that I have done this mapping, and that is why the setup is there, and we accept that request, and we start showing you your client portal to your clients.
So okay. So what we are primarily talking about is that without having my own server, I can run Clientjoy on my custom domain. So my domain is let's say clients.yashshah.in or something like that, and so I can have Clientjoy running it on my domain, and my public links, which is let's say my meeting booking link, or even internal links like proposal links or invoice links, and all of those will also work on custom domain. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, nice to know.
Yeah. So Clientjoy server will only be used. You don't need to have a server.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Um, when you have done this mapping, it's a very fairly easy process for the people who know how to do it. And if you do not know how to do it, and if you can, just come to us, like contact our support, will help you set it up.
Got it.
We also set up an SSL certificate for your HTTPS for that domain, so that the whole thing is secure. Your client portal, your proposals, and invoices. You can have a look at how your URLs will look. So if you want to know.
So actually, if you want to really know how branding, how custom domain setup is done, we actually covered this in our previous live, which wherever it is that you're watching this, you'll be able to find our previous live sessions as well. And so that was called branding, how white labeling Clientjoy for your clients, where I've actually done the demo of going into my domain service provider and then changing the domain from app.clientjoy.io to my own custom domain, right? And so you can always check that out. It's available. It's the first one under Wednesday webinars called Whitelabelling Clientjoy for your clients. And so there, Sibu is our VP of growth, and so Sibu and I had the opportunity to take you through the whole journey of implementing custom domain. And so do check that out. In the meantime, we have a comment from So Nice Media, and so they say, "This is awesome. I've been with Clientjoy for some time, and maybe now is the time to move all in. It is always a great time to move all in. We ourselves are all in, and I would encourage you to go all in as well." And so thank you for that nice, kind message. So Nice Media. Over to you, Anupama. Let's continue.
Sure. Okay, so custom domain you have set up. I will just give you an example of the setup that I have done. Just head over to the client portal that is there.
This is, by the way, the client portal that we worked really hard on to kind of so one of the major challenges that we had when we were running our own agency was that all of our updates for our clients happened over email and WhatsApp, or in some cases Slack, and stuff like that. And so we always wanted a better way to share updates with our clients, right? And so to share with them that, hey, this is the progress that's been happening, to share reports with them, and so on and so forth. And so this is something that we missed when we were running our agency. And that's kind of what we've built with Client Portal, where you can embed with more than 1,000 applications, including Canva, YouTube, Airtable, Infinity, you name it. And then you also have your files, invoices, proposals over here. You can add new tabs. You can have custom scripts brought in. You can have custom CSS, which is what has been used to design the one that you were just seeing on your screen as well. And yeah, so just kind of wanted to share that with you.
Yes. Okay. Just a second. this is not beautiful, but I just tried to like, change everything that was possible. So okay, so so I
Move,
was
move.
actually
This is what happens when you move fast and break things, right? This is
this is
by the way, let me clarify for all the people who are watching this. This is not how default client portal looks, right? Faizan, who is our UI UX designer, has spent a lot of time designing and making it look nice and minimal and so on and so forth. And Anupama, just for the purpose of this demo, has used bright blue on bright yellow, which is neon, and the logo does not have background removed, and the text is invisible and whatnot. This is what I am telling you. This is what happens when you move fast and break things, right? So this is because of custom CSS that Anupama has applied. I just want you guys to know that this is not how default client portal looks at all. It looks really nice and beautiful.
this
Anupama,
also
please
happens.
continue.
This also happens when you deviate from your actual flow that we had decided for the for the
It
session
happens. It
today.
happens all the time. It happens all the time, and that's the beauty and the purpose, and actually the reason why we should always do lives, right? And so that actually, if it doesn't matter what you decided, right? A live will always take you away from what you
Yes,
thought, and
yes,
so yeah.
yes. So one of one of actually one of you only asked was looking for a custom CSS which they can apply on Clientjoy, which can allow them to break and change things. So I just created a script. I have it ready with me. If you all want, I can also share that with you. Where I have used this bright color so that they just find that here I want to change my color, here I want to change my color, and they just replace that colors. So that was the reason that I created this. Okay, coming back. So
Sure.
you can see that the favicon over here, if it's visible on the screen, right? So that I don't know how to zoom. Okay, so
That you
that
cannot.
so that favicon is what I was showing you in my settings. You can see that the URL, which is formed is of the custom domain that I set up. This is my client portal URL. You can see that the logo is coming here. Here, the name of my organization, okay, it's in client portal. And all these colors I'm able to see. Here it also says name, email, but somehow I have made them yellow, white, and white on yellow is not visible. But this was an
So
extent. Yeah,
this is this is to show you like to what extent can
go.
you go to you
And what
can
not to do as
you
well.
have what not to do as well. So you have a knife. Now you can use that knife to cut vegetables, or you can use that knife to do not so pretty things as well. And so please use the knife that we've built for you to cut vegetables. Please make it decent, make it nice. But the whole point of showing you this is primarily the fact that there's no way that your client can find out that you're using Clientjoy, right? And that's primarily what Anupama and I wanted to convey to you. That with
Sure.
White Label Branding Plus, there's just no way that your brand gets diluted, even though your brand is yellow and blue. If that's your brand, if that's your thing, it will not get diluted. So yeah, moving on.
Okay. Um, okay. So how did I set up that custom CSS custom script? That I also show you. So here in the client pages, if you come, you will see the option to add custom CSS and custom scripts. So you can use custom CSS to what just I gave you an example. You can change anything that is visible to your clients and leads. You can use custom scripts to put your own widgets. So if you use your own support system, your chat system, some reporting system, maybe feedback system, whatever you use, if you are using some analytics tool, you just bring all those scripts over here and your client portal will have them. Your proposal, your proposals which are visible to your leads will have them. Your invoices which are visible to your clients will have them. Okay. Moving on, I'll show you like if you are using Clientjoy for your payment collection, what are some of the things that you have to set up? Just move to the sales and to the items. Okay, so you will be knowing that what are the services that you are providing, whether it is design, whether it is performance marketing, ads, website, and you will be having some certain standard rates for that. Be giving some discounts to some of the leads or clients, but you will still have a standard rates for them, and also that in different currencies. So what you need to do is that you just head over to the items. So items are basically a representation of your services or your products if you are selling, and you just set up their name, their description, their prices if you are collecting any taxes. So that you set up. You can use them while you're creating your proposals or your invoices. So it's just one click. So you can create your pricing table, just insert it in one click, and all your calculations, everything will be done by us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then if you are using for payment collection, next is like setting up your payment methods. So you'll be using some payment methods, be it offline or online, to collect payment. So just head over to settings and payment methods. I'll use the shortcut this time. So these are some of the integrations that we have done with some of the major payment gateways, which is PayPal, Stripe, Payoneer, Razorpay, Instamojo. If you are using any of them to collect payments, then it is just few clicks away from integrating them. If you do not have an account with PayPal, Stripe, or Payoneer, we actually allow you to do that as well. So if you do not have an account, just try to connect with PayPal, Stripe, or Payoneer. The whole registration process will also happen through this journey, and we will set up a new account for you, and you can start collecting payments.
And also, just to like very quickly mention, as you can see on your screen, this is tip number one. So if you are looking to do recurring billing, right? If you're looking to recurringly collect payments from your clients, then even though you may have PayPal and Payoneer, but Stripe, you can use Stripe for recurring payments, right? So Payoneer and PayPal will support recurring invoicing, right? So you can create recurring invoicing using Clientjoy and integrate with PayPal and Payoneer, and they'll send out the invoices to your clients, and then they'll have a pay now button which they can click and make the payment, and then that payment also reflects within Clientjoy. But if you want to recurringly debit your client's payment method, whether it is a credit card or ACH or whatever the case may be, then you want to integrate with Stripe, because Stripe does not just support recurring invoices, it supports recurring payments along with recurring invoices, right? And so just kind of thought I'll mention that over here as well. We ourselves use Stripe as well, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever so after you are done with the setup, if you are using multiple payment gateways, then connect multiple. Once you are done with it, when you are creating an invoice, you can actually choose like which payment gateway you want to set for that invoice. So if you are using only one or two and you want those two payment gateways to be available to all your invoices and you don't want to choose them every time, then what you do is that we have this option select by default on invoice for that payment method, for Stripe, for PayPal, for every payment method. So you just turn it on. Like it is sorted for you that every time you are creating an invoice, you don't need to actually go and choose the payment method. By default, PayPal or Stripe or whichever you choose will be available. This is for the online way of collecting the payment. If you are using, if you are using direct wire transfer, then you can also set up your bank information, bank details. So you just go below. Here we have bank account and offline payment. Add a payment method. Give name to what is the payment method. You can have wire transfer, some bank account name, whatever it is. And in the description, just add the details, your account number, bank number, whatever is it. Add that detail. And here also you can choose select by default on invoice. So what happens is that when you are creating your invoice or updating the invoice, you will also receive, you will also get an option of these banks available in your payment methods. When you choose them, your invoice will have a section of bank information available, and these bank information will automatically appear on your invoice. So basically, online offline both you can set up from here. Okay. Next is that when you are creating your invoice, how does your information or your client's information look on the invoice? So I'll just take you to the invoice setting. I'll show you a sample invoice as well after this. Okay. So these are, you just head over to invoices to see all the invoices setting. I'll take the above settings later. I'll just, cover this one first. So on the, okay, so here you will see these are two tabs. Your company information. How does your company information look on the invoice, and how does your customer's company information look on the invoice? So you can set up the formatting. So for example, if you want that, you also want your name to appear. Your name. If you want, this is, if you want, what can I say? Maybe your website to appear on the invoice as well. You can just write it directly, website, and just link over here. Or you can use custom fields. Here you can see that I had created a custom field for my company, which was CIN number, and I added them here. This is how you just click over here and just appear. And you can customize it. If you want this state to be below the city, you don't want the zip code information, whatever you want to format it, you can do that. Next is customer information. So how does your customer or client information appear on your invoice? The similar way you can do that. If you want to show your client's GST number, if you want to show your clients some identification number, all that you can bring on your invoice using this place. Okay, I'll just start from above. Okay. So you can set your taxes from here. If you are using if your country or compliances have any taxes, you just add them over. For example, we have in India GST, which is 18%. I add here. So these taxes are available to you whenever you are creating an invoice or whenever you are adding your products and services. You can choose them. This is how and when the reminders will be sent. So there are two types of reminders that we send for invoices in Clientjoy. One is sent, which is before the due date, and second is sent after the, one is sent before the due date, which is just one. And after the due date, we send recurring reminders. So you can set the frequency that if you want to send recurring reminder every 3 days, every 4 days, every 2 days, every 7 days. So reminders will keep on going to your client unless they make a payment. You can set up a time at which you want the reminder to go. So just set up over here. You can also set up the email templates that goes in the reminders that I'll cover a little later in this. Okay. Actually, I'll just cover right now. I just head over to the email templates. Okay. So in the email templates, you will see that you can have your custom email templates, invoices, proposals, and customers. These are predefined scenarios in which Clientjoy sends their email, and these are the system emails which we send. You can, if you want to update the information, you just come over here, click on the pencil button over here, update the information, personalize it the way you want, and set it. I'll just show you the example of invoice. This is one of the emails which goes on the due date. I just cover update here. Okay, any questions so far?
Not
Yes,
yet.
I can hear you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, not yet. We have some comments, but I'll take them towards the end. But no questions yet.
Okay. Sure. So this is the place where you can come and update the email template. So you can also know from here which emails we send. So for example, you are sending a client portal invitation when you're sharing a file to your client from client portal. So the emails that are going come and update here. When you are sending the proposal to your lead, to the customer, when our automated reminder is going, when you are sending a, whenever the proposal is accepted, there is a thank you email that goes in the invoices. When you are, sending the split invoices, which is, the invoices that you basically, break the payments. When you are sending the invoices to customer, resending them, when your payment is recorded, so that also, you can send the customer. When there are automated invoice, when there is recurring invoices generated, if you want any of those emails to not go to your client. So for example, you don't want to send any reminders to your client. So we have received such requests as well earlier. You just, turn this toggle off from here. So then those emails will stop going.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, so these are your custom email templates. These are the ones that you create, which is used for your personal communication with your leads or clients. So these are templates that you create for your follow-ups, for your introductions, for your meeting setups. So your business will be having some email templates. You can just add them over here. Okay. So next is how do you set up your Clientjoy account to actually import your data, to bring in the data, right? So I will tell you custom fields. Okay. So whenever you are recording information of your leads, client, you will be having some of the fields we provide by default, which is the basic information like name, email, phone number. But there are a lot of information that you need to capture, which you capture or which you need to do for your own business's purposes. So, for example, what are the requirement of this client? What is the date of birth of this client? What is the what is the URL of the Facebook page of this client? So all that information you want to capture for the lead. So how do you do that? Just go to the custom field, set up custom field, just add a custom field, choose like whether you want that information to be collected for the leads, customer, items, company, or invoice. And for example, I'm choosing for leads. Give it a name. Let's say that I want to capture the Facebook URL, right? And you just select a type. Make it mandatory if you want that lead should not be saved or updated without this information. Then make it mandatory. If there is a multiple choice drop down that you want, just select or multi-select.
So it's also important to remember that when we are creating custom fields, all of these custom fields are not just in-app custom fields, right? So they are not just for use within Clientjoy. You can create custom fields and then use them in a lot of different ways, right? So you can basically, they work with APIs, they work with integrations in Zapier, Pabbly, Integromat, Integrately, and SyncSpider. You can use custom fields and show them on your proposals, invoices, emails, whatever it is that you're sending out. You can also use custom fields to search, sort, and filter your data, right? And so a couple of good examples of creating custom fields for leads could be, let's say, turnover or size of an organization, right, of a business that you have. And so then you may want, what you may want to do is you may want to go to your leads page and then filter your data depending on the values that are there in custom fields. And so let's say you create a custom field that is of different types, and so you say, okay, how many leads do I have that are doing the business of $1 million or less a year, and then how many from 1 million to 5 million a year, how many from 5 million to 15 million a year, and then you want to treat all of those three categories of leads very, very differently in terms of the conversation that you're having. And as you can see over here, so the example that we are seeing that Anupama is showing right now is that it's showing you how you can use that to filter your data, right? So as an example, if you have a question as to how many of your leads are looking for logo design as a service and how many of them are looking for website development as a service, and you can then use the data input and then filter, search, sort, and filter accordingly. Right? This is just one example. We have a question about custom fields, and I think we also have a question around. I don't know who this is from, but it's from a Facebook user. We have another question around reminders as well, which we'll get to in a bit. But since we're talking about custom fields, let's take up the custom fields one first. So, Anupama, one of the user is saying that have we found a way of ignoring the field in proposals if there's no data input in that custom field? So let's say if I've included that custom field as a merge field within the proposal, if that custom field does not have any data, then that merge field should not show empty data point. Have we figured out a way to do that?
So what we are doing about this thing is that we are creating some kind of validation. So basically, whenever you are sending a proposal or invoice, if there is any empty merge field, right? If you have forgotten to actually, like fill its information, if that information is missing it, then you will get a prompt which will, help you that if you have forgotten it, will tell you that, there are some email, merge fields which are not filled. So it will help you to ensure that like your whatever you are sending, the email, the proposal, it is going perfect. So this is how we are thinking of fixing this. Right now, what happens is that you just get that merge tag, which is your, for example, that that bracket sender dot name. So that kind of thing comes if there is no value in it.
Got it. And so the reason why we cannot ignore it is because there are use cases where you could have written sentences with those merge
Yes.
fields in the proposal, right? So you could have written, this proposal is prepared for sender.company. Now, if you've not added sender.company, then there's no way for the software to know how to ignore that merge field, right? And so the only way is for you to either only include the merge fields that are mandatory, right? So include those custom fields that are mandatory. So there's just absolutely no scenario where a proposal can be created for a lead, because the lead cannot be created without putting in that data of the custom field. And the second thing is what we're working on as well, as to if you're about to send out a proposal with a merge field of a custom field which does not have data, then we'll create validations for you and we'll show you where those are empty, and you can fill those data points right from there and then. But there's no way for us to ignore it, because you could have written it in a sentence, right? And there's just no way for us to know or find out. The other
Yes.
question that we have, which is taking kind of a step back, is a little bigger question. Let me change the orientation a little bit while we are answering this question. Is primarily something to the effect of, one of the problems with just one second. So one problem with the reminder email for invoices is that it triggers even if the client has paid. So I don't use reminders at all, as I don't want to annoy my clients. Is there a way to prevent this? Does entering a payment stop the reminder from going out? If you can clarify, Anupama, that'll be great.
So it doesn't happen. I think there is one scenario where it happened once was, I guess when you are using, that scheduled invoices, what do we call it? Split invoices. So you are, what happens is that you have an invoice which we have broken into 3 different dates, but the invoice is still due, right? If you have made the part payment of it, for example, if you have made the 30% payment, but the remaining 70% is yet to be paid. In that scenario, we were, the reminder was going still. As your invoice is due still. I don't have an update right now on that because it was, I guess, few weeks back. So we had fixed that, but still, I will come back and comment on our live whether what's the status of that.
So wherever this comment is, Anupama, it will be super helpful if you can find the answer and then reply with uh, what
Sure.
was the exact issue, how we fixed it, and then where we are today. I think that will be super
Sure.
super
So
helpful.
it
Thank
doesn't
you
happen
for
in
the
the
feedback.
regular invoices, recurring invoices, and in fact, split invoices. There was just one scenario in which it was happening. There was a bug in that, and we had fixed it. I'll come and reply to you.
Got it. Awesome. I think that is super helpful. Thank you for that. Coming back on, and so before we do that, so just kind of to get an idea of how many other things are there in terms of setting up Clientjoy.
I think the custom field was the last part. Like the
Okay.
two things that I was going to cover was custom emails and custom proposal and templates, but we have already done 2 full sessions on that.
Yeah.
So I can,
And there are more
just
sessions to come on that as well.
yes, yes.
There are
So
more
I can
sessions to
just
come with proposal
show
tips and
you
tricks.
like where to access those sessions from. Okay. Before that, I'll show you how to do it from here. So just go to this proposal template here. So you can set up all your templates.
You are pointing towards the screen, but we cannot see your. So I know that you're pointing towards the screen by saying that
Oh,
go
I know.
here.
I thought. Okay, okay, okay. I know what I did. I know what I
Yeah,
did.
but it's important to remember that this is a
I
digital
thought all
live
of you
and
are
it's
just
not.
here.
Yeah, so it's important to remember that this is a digital live, and so it's
Yes.
better if you point with your mouse rather than with your fingers. Uh, but but
Rookie mistake.
moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So you just go to the sales and proposal template. So in the earlier live, I showed you a problem, and I told you that we'll be fixing in the coming week, and we have fixed it. Initially, it was not possible to access proposal templates when you are
Mhm.
not on the proposals or inside the proposals. Now we have brought all your templates outside, so you can easily manage your templates for your quotes, your estimates, proposals, everything. Like, so you just go to your sales menu, head over to proposal templates, create as many templates you want, standardize your business. No room for typos, copy paste mistake. Just put the standard things here and start creating your proposals and the quotes from directly one click from here. Just use and you are good to go.
And
So
so we have
templatize your documents was the one thing, and second was templatize your emails. So that I have already covered. And if you want to see the whole session for that, you just head over to the Wednesday webinar and show you system template one. Yes, you have uploaded.
yeah, that was creating and editing your sales documents,
Okay,
which
this
is the
one.
third one. Yeah, creating and e-signing your
System.
documents.
Okay, so this is one, and this automate your
And we have
cold
a user
outreach.
who's also commenting saying that you've added a direct link to proposal templates. Excellent. Thank you for the comment. We should have done that from day one, but now we've done that. Better late than never. But thank you for that. There's another one that's coming. Please, can you create a JSON or another method for downloading templates so they can be uploaded into another workspace? Oh wow.
That's a good one.
So again, I don't know who you are or where you're from, but I will find out after the live, and we'll figure out a way for you to get this done. Anupama, is it possible? What do you think,
So I
Anupama?
think what your need is that you have created the templates in one workspace. Now you want to use that in your other businesses or brands. So you just want to copy them to that workspace. So it's a very interesting thing. We can help you out of this, but creating. So let me come on that. Let me think about it. That's a very interesting thing.
Sure. So again,
So
we'll figure out after the live. We'll figure out where you are. Unfortunately, our live system does not. It doesn't show which user you are or which specific live have you commented on. But dear Facebook user, we'll get back to you once we have a solution to that, and that should be soon as well. Awesome. Thank you everyone for. So I have some other questions as well, but those are variations of some of the things that we've already answered, and I think this is a good note to end this call on, which is this is awesome. I've been using Clientjoy with some time, and now is the time to move all in. That's a good sentiment. That's a sentiment that I agree with. It says it's Darren. Oh, Darren. Okay, got it. Got it. So this must be within the community. So Anupama, just after this live, we'll just go to the Facebook community. By the way, we run a community that's available on again facebook.com/group/clientjoy where you can join in. Which is where Darren is also joining us from and is asking this question. And so, thank you for the question. There are very few questions that stump Anupama as far as product is concerned, and I genuinely, from it's not like a normal thank you. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Darren, for for stumping Anupama.
Yes. Hi,
And asking
Darren.
a question.
So Darren had suggested that when the custom field is not actually filled up, then we replace it with a space or a. So we are actually thinking of something even better, which helps you because space might ruin the sentence structure. So
Got
we
it.
were thinking that we just
Awesome.
show you that it is not there, and then you decide whether you want to put a space, full stop, you want to change the statement. So we just help you that it doesn't go the way.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining in. This is Anupama and me saying goodbye. Until next time, we'll be meeting you Wednesday, same time, same place. Looking forward to meeting with you again and talking about something new, something awesome. And thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.